All right, so here's the Thanksgiving setup. 85-inch TV. This is where the 49ers and the Seahawks are going to be playing, and this is where the Lions and the Packers are currently playing. It's a basement setup, as you can see. So we've got Green Bay and Detroit, and if the 49ers see Detroit continue to lose, if Green Bay can hold on to this lead, and I'm going to be watching this here over the next 2 minutes and 40 seconds, then the 49ers will assume a chance to reach the number 2 spot in the NFC. Detroit is currently down 29-14, and a loss would mean their third of the season. And the 49ers are at 3 losses as well. So Detroit's 8-2, currently on their way to 8-3 unless Jared Goff and company can pull out some magic. They've got the football, they've got all 3 timeouts, but they need 15 points in 2.5 minutes, and they're still on their side of the 50. So this is a situation right now where the 49ers are, I don't know if they're watching intently as they're getting ready for this game in Seattle, but this is significant because Detroit doesn't seem to have the hardest schedule the rest of the way. The Philadelphia Eagles have a harder schedule, and the 49ers get to play the Eagles. The Eagles obviously are 9-1. The Lions are 8-2. The 49ers are 7-3. So the Lions dropping to 8-3 would give the 49ers a chance to be ahead of them in the standings by the end of tonight with a win over the Seahawks. So the 49ers, red and gold 24/7 on the comment section right now says the 49ers control their own destiny. No, they don't. The Philadelphia Eagles have to lose once more for the 49ers to control their own destiny because the 49ers can only take 1 game away from the Eagles, and they're 2 games back from the Eagles. The 1 game obviously is coming in Philadelphia. But first things first, 49ers need to take care of business against the Seattle Seahawks tonight. So Detroit has a 4th and 1 right now from their own 33-yard line. I have to get to the 34. They're throwing. This could do it if Goff doesn't get it. He does get it. Little underneath pass for the Lions. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Commercial break coming up. And the Lions are dinking and dunking their way downfield. It has not been an impressive performance for them. In fact, anybody who watched the first half probably say that Jordan Love and the Packers could have scored even more. And they left some points out on the board. And they went into the locker room, I think, up 23-6. I would say that Detroit is the least impressive 8-2 team that we've seen outside of last year's Minnesota Vikings team, which finished, 13-4? But God, those guys were bad. I mean, they were, all the efficiency stats had the Vikings down at like number 26, number 27. And then they deservedly lost to the New York Giants in the playoffs, but those guys weren't good at all. So Detroit, I mean, I get it. It's an ascending program. I like what Dan Campbell's doing there. But as far as being in the same weight class as the 49ers and the Eagles or even the Cowboys, they're not. And I think that this loss has been coming here for quite some time. They got lucky against the Bears last week. They were able to pull one out despite being down by a couple scores with 3 minutes to go. Today, they're down by 15 with 2 minutes to go, and it looks extremely unlikely that the Lions will win. So I'm going to take you through this while we wait for the 49ers and the Seahawks tonight. As I said, this is it's not the stadium tour. I think I'm going to do the stadium tour in a little bit for you, though. You'll like the stadium tour today. But the location of where we'll be watching is where I'm currently sitting. As soon as the game comes back on, just so you can get an idea of what the 85-inch TV feels like, we'll watch. But the big TV was installed, I think, with this being the headlining event, 49ers and the Seahawks on Thanksgiving. It's going to be dry in Seattle today. I think nighttime low of 33, daytime high of about 48. So it's chilly and dry. It's going to be a lot like the game last year when the 49ers went down and clinched the division up in the Pacific Northwest. So that's good for the 49ers because they are clearly better than Seattle. Brock Purdy is clearly better than Geno Smith. The roster for San Francisco is better. The depth for San Francisco is better. If everything just plays out according to serve, the 49ers will win. It's always possible to lose in the National Football League, though. So that means you want everything to play out according to serve. You don't want things to go haywire. You don't want things to be funky. And I think that the chances of that are minimized tonight. Now, obviously, stuff can always happen. So the 49ers have to keep their eyes peeled as we have returned to action here in Detroit. There is the big TV, 85 inches, and we got enough couch space here. I mean, it's just like a really simple basement room that we have here. I'm on the L couch watching the game. I think this is going to be the awesome spot to watch it. And we got the new white shoes too. So gotta display those. So the Lions moving the football. It's 2nd and 5. I'm not supposed to rebroadcast the game for you, so I could give you glimpses of the TV, but don't want to rebroadcast it. I don't think that would be legal. So anyway, we are at 1:29 on the clock, 29-14, Green Bay over Detroit. So the 49ers are just 90 seconds away from seeing a game result break in their favor. Detroit seems to consistently lose on Thanksgiving, even if they're good. And this year they're good. They're not great. They obviously have been exposed here over the past couple of weeks. But nobody wants to go to Detroit in January. And not because you're afraid of playing in Detroit, but because nobody wants to go to the city of Detroit in January. It sounds extremely depressing to me. I mean, it's going to be cold. And I like Detroit. Like, I'm one of these Detroit fans. I think that it's cool. I think the city's had a bit of a rebirth. The northern suburbs up there of Detroit, just beautiful stuff. That's where they used to play, in the Pontiac Silverdome. But Detroit in January does not sound appealing for anybody from the West Coast. Goff, another very weak throw as he got hit. 105 left. It is not the day for Jared Goff and the Lions. They are not having as easy of a time coming back against this Packers team as they did against the Chicago Bears last week. Yeah, Detroit in the spring sounds a whole lot more fun. I've been in that area in the summer. January, no thanks. I'll pass on January visits. And if the Packers hold on in this game, a January visit becomes a whole lot less likely for the 49ers. 105 left. Still 3 timeouts for Detroit, but they're not moving downfield at all. Goff is throwing ducks today, throwing behind receivers, just completely missed everybody again. Flags down, only a minute left. That could be, I think it came down in the area of, offensive holding. So offensive holding, and it's good. Detroit is bad, but San Francisco is better. Yeah, San Francisco is one of the nicest cities in the world. Are you kidding me? San Francisco is definitely the most beautiful city in America. And comparing it to Detroit is just not a comparison that you could even legitimately make. 29-14. 2nd and 20. Goff. Underneath pass, he's going to get the 20 yards. He's going to get 25, but there are now 52 seconds left. So 49ers are in a good spot. I think the Packers know that because the Packers are on the sideline joking around. We've seen, I think it was the Chicago Bears come back against the team down 14 with 30 seconds left. So it's not technically over in Detroit, but the fat lady is very, very close to singing. When's the last time the Lions have actually won on Thanksgiving? Nice throw over the middle to Raymond from Goff. That was a seam shot. So they're going to get down to about the 10 or the 12. Now, why is Detroit calling timeout? That's terrible coaching right there to call timeout. Detroit now cannot get this ball back. They should have run up to the line, spiked it, and tried to score with about 30 seconds left, and then they could have gotten the ball back with their 3 timeouts with 20 to 30 seconds left. Instead, they call one of their timeouts, and now with 46 left, they're going to need an onside kick. So that really, really helps the 49ers. Sometimes, the clock management of some of these NFL teams is you could get a Madden player, somebody who plays Madden for fun to make these clock management decisions better than some NFL coaches, because that was embarrassing. Like the Packers on the sideline look nice and confident. There you go. There's LaFleur. There are the Lions coming back up to the line of scrimmage. Because now even if they score, it's going to require an onside kick for sure to have any shot of anything. Where they were going to be able to survive potentially without the onside kick when they had all 3 timeouts. They would have still tried it, and they should have still tried it, but they could have had all 3 timeouts right now. They foolishly decide to use one. Detroit has never been favored during a Thanksgiving game since sports betting was introduced. Somebody said until today, right? That's crazy. And they still lose. They're still down 15 with 46 seconds to go. Jordan Love looks very pleased with himself. Don't tell me what happened, guys. I'm on YouTube TV. You guys are going to be ahead of me. I have no choice. I'm on YouTube TV. So Detroit's going to score here. Touchdown. Flags down. It's going to be against the Packers, I'm guessing. So it's going to be onside kick time coming up for Detroit. I'll have to not read the comments section now because I know that everybody's 30 seconds ahead of me, those of you who aren't on YouTube TV. Tonight's game for the 49ers. We're going to look at the statuses of Banks and Burford. Banks obviously would be a big win if the 49ers could get him to play because then you could get Feliciano to play right guard if Burford doesn't play. The Seahawks have a decent interior defensive line, but the 49ers have a quarterback that has beaten even shoddy pass protection this year. Here comes a very important 2-point conversion attempt. Goff over the middle, got it. All right, so Detroit is down 7 now. But because they very foolishly used a timeout, they have to recover this onside kick or else the game is essentially over. There wouldn't be as much riding on this onside kick had they not used that timeout. That's all I'm saying. The 49ers tonight, I think, we're going to attack the middle of the field. I think if you look at the way that the Seahawks play, they've got good corners. They don't have good linebackers in coverage. Bobby Wagner is old at this point. Jordan Brooks has never been good in coverage. Julian Love is not a good safety in coverage. All 3 of those guys have given up over 300 receiving yards this year. And that's a lot to give up in coverage for an individual player only about halfway through the season. So expect McCaffrey, expect Kittle, expect Deebo Samuel to be big parts of the 49ers game plan. All right, I'm not looking at the comments because I know that you're already spoiling it for me, but here is the onside kick for the Detroit Lions. The onside kick, they have to recover because they burned a timeout. I'm going to keep on saying that because I hate poor clock management in the NFL. And they did not recover it. It's game. The Lions are going to lose. The Packers get the onside kick. So the Lions are going to drop to 8-3. The 49ers with a win tonight can move to 8-3, and they'll have a better conference record than the Lions. So the 49ers have a chance to move from the number 3 overall seed to the number 2 overall seed in the NFC. They still need... Oh, the kicking team left early. All right, hold on. Oh, that's the kicking team. We're good. Never mind. Sorry. I thought it was... I had my directions confused there. So it's over. So the 49ers have a chance to move to number 2 in the NFC. Obviously, their chances of having to go to Detroit in January have lessened today. This is an important result for the 49ers, and they're still trying to catch Philadelphia. But first and foremost, the 49ers want to win the NFC West against Seattle, and that's coming up in a few hours. There's the end of the game. There's the 85-inch TV. 49ers going to be playing on that a little bit later tonight. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.